everybody, it's Kristen here, sports dietitian, certified personal trainer, and owner of Elite Nutrition Performance. And today I want to talk to you about what do you do if you suspect that your child has an eating disorder or disordered eating, and how to spot that in your young athlete. So there's lots of things that you can look for, and I'm going to give you a list, but that does not mean that it is one, a complete list, or two, that if they do any of these things on this list, that it necessarily means that they are struggling with disordered eating or have a full-blown eating disorder. And I do just want to note that there is a difference between disordered eating and a full-blown eating disorder. So a full-blown eating disorder is when they would meet clinical guidelines. So it would mean that they are below a certain weight, or they have had a loss of a period if they're a female for a certain amount of time, things like that. So you can struggle with disordered eating before you get into a full-blown eating disorder. And so let's talk about what you would look for if you do suspect disordered eating in your young athlete. So first things first would be they have limited what they will eat. So maybe they had a wide variety of foods that they were willing to eat before, and now they've kind of narrowed it down to this small section of foods. And two, they have off-limit foods. So, maybe they used to like to have ice cream, but now ice cream is an off-limits food. They've recently lost weight, or maybe they're even continuing to lose weight, and it would be a significant amount of weight. I'm not talking like they lost a pound. Maybe they lost 5, 10 plus pounds, and they're still continuing to lose weight, and there's no other reason for it. So like if they got sick and they lost 5 pounds, that's a little different. If it's a female, they have lost their period, or they are having irregular cycles. Their performance has decreased, so you'll notice a significant decline in their performance on the field or in whatever sport that they are playing, and you can totally pinpoint that, and they might even notice that as well. If they're reading food labels and counting calories, if they're tracking what they're eating, like everything that they're eating, they won't eat in social situations, they maybe are even eating in secrecy, and their intake has significantly decreased, and there's no other reason for it. Again, if they got sick, for example, then we know that that's why their intake has decreased. But if you notice that their intake of food has decreased over time, then that would be a reason for concern. So what do you do about it if you actually have said yes to a lot of these things and you really do suspect an eating disorder or disordered eating in your young athlete? Well, let me start off with what you don't do. First of all, you don't come out of the gate guns a-blazing saying, you have a disorder or eating disorder, I'm going to, take this and that away from you. That is not going to go over well whatsoever. You want to come at this from as a concerned parent, and that you are concerned for the well-being and the health of your child, and that you are there to support them and you want to help them in all of this. So first things first is talk to your child's pediatrician. So, just bring them in for a checkup and have them, kind of get an assessment on where they are. If you could, it would be ideal to bring these concerns to your doctor beforehand so that they know what they're dealing with, but you don't need to say that in front of your child, because that might not go over very well. And certainly if they're going to weigh them, which they probably are, maybe don't have them announce the weight, or so that they can even see it. That would probably be very helpful. Two, if they are working with a therapist already, then bring it up to the therapist and, tell them that you are concerned about this, and that they could actually bring it up to your child as well, and kind of help work through all of that. Number 3 is actually to get them working with a sports dietitian. I have parents call me all the time, telling me that they're concerned about their child. And the way that I at least operate when I do this is, when I work with the young athlete, we work through all this as a, really through like a way of helping them with their health, teaching them how to eat for their performance in their sport, and helping them to perform better. And a lot of times it's just that they simply don't know how to eat, and that they have these outside influences like their friends or social media or whatever that are really kind of just adding fuel to the fire, because they already don't know how to eat, and now they have those outside influences. And that when they do learn how to eat, and they have that motivation of their sport to that they want to get better at their sport, they are more likely to follow through on what to eat and what I'm telling them to eat, so that they have better health and performance. And lastly is to just bring up your concerns to your young athlete. Again, don't come out of the gate, just accusing them of having an eating disorder, but really more so at from a standpoint of, I'm concerned about you. I see that you are losing weight. You are really preoccupied with food or counting calories or whatever it is that you see. And I want to help you and remind them that it is normal to feel insecure about themselves at, these young ages. And maybe you even have a personal story that you can share with them that you struggled with this when you were their age or whatever. And that helps them to realize that you also went through this and you can relate to them. And also ask them, what can you do to support them? What can you do to help them? But it's really important to get them with some professional help and really get an assessment done to figure out exactly where they are. You definitely want to make sure that you are working with somebody that is well-versed in disordered eating, and also working with young athletes. That's the other thing. They need to know about athletes and they need to know about disordered eating. If they don't know about the two, they're probably not going to be able to help, and they might even mess things up further. So if your doctor, for example, doesn't know anything about those, well, then get a referral. If you just Google nutritionist, chances are you're not going to find somebody that is going to be well-versed in these things. You really need to get somebody that is a sports dietitian, preferably that has the CSSD certification, so Certified Specialist in Sports Dietetics, and make sure that they do mention disordered eating on their website or their bio or whatever. And same thing with therapists. A lot of therapists just know, family counseling, for example, and they may not know anything about disordered eating. That is a specialty area. So make sure that you are doing some research and finding some professionals in there, but you are employing the help of a professional that can help you with getting assessment done and then getting some treatment done. And last but not least, I would make sure that you are finding somebody that your young athlete clicks with. If they don't click with them, it's not going to help them. It's not going to work. They might just be angry and it might even blow up in your face. So just make sure that you're doing some research. So certainly if this is something that your child is struggling with and they need help, I am happy to talk to them and help them out with this situation. And maybe I'm not even the person for them. I would be happy to help you, navigate that and find somebody that would work with them. But if you are seeing this with your own young athlete, do not wait. The longer that you wait, the worse it will get. And the more time it's going to take to kind of undo things. So act on it now. But please like and share this video. Sharing is definitely caring in this situation, because you never know when somebody else is struggling with this. And eating disorders and disordered eating affect way more than you probably would think. So thanks for watching. And like I said, please like and share this video. Have a great rest of the day.